doing here? Why are we marching them through here?
Anti-Semitism is on the rise in some of the most famous Ivy League colleges, which have turned into battlegrounds over the Gaza war protests. These demonstrations have spread from Columbia and Yale to other US universities as officials are now scrambling to defuse demonstrations and contain the fallout of the Gaza war on the nation's campuses. Major Ivy League colleges have come to a complete standstill due to the ongoing protests.
Judaism yes, Zionism no, the state of Israel has to go. Judaism yes, Zionism no, the state of Israel.
Yale, MIT, Harvard, Columbia, they are among the universities where tensions still remain high. Police have been removing anti-Israel protesters from Yale's campus after a week of demonstrations. Students at Columbia University have been told that all classes will be held virtually as anti-Israel protesters have taken over these campuses. Demonstrations and heated debates about the Israel-Gaza war and free speech has rocked US campuses since the Hamas attack on Israel on the 7th of October. In the United States, students on both sides say that there has been a rise in both anti-Semitic and Islamophobic incidents ever since. The White House has condemned the quote-unquote blatantly anti-Semitic statements during ongoing student protests against the war in Gaza, though without directly referencing to any one particular university.
Mr. President,
what's your message to the protesters?
do you condemn the anti-Semitic protests on college campuses?
I condemn the anti-Semitic protests. That's why I've set up a program to deal with that. I also condemn those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians and how they're being...
Should the Columbia University president...
Slamming anti-Israel protests at these prestigious universities, US President Joe Biden condemned them, saying that such anti-Semitism is quote-unquote reprehensible and dangerous. New York's Columbia University in particular has been on the edge amid mounting tensions between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel protesters over the war in Gaza. The university crisis escalated recently after university officials testified before the US Congress about anti-Semitism on campuses, causing pro-Palestinian demonstrations on and near campus to surge. While the pro-Palestinian student protesters are demanding that US President Joe Biden and his administration take definitive steps to stop the war in Gaza and divest away from Israel, demanding ceasefire, Israeli and Jewish students are claiming that some protesting groups are using intimidation and anti-Semitism as tools of harassment towards them. Meanwhile, Columbia University President Nimad Shafiq called for a reset in an open letter to the school community. In a statement, Dr. Shafiq said, and I quote, "Over the past few days, there have been too many examples of intimidation and harassing behavior on our campus. Anti-Semitic language, like any other language that is used to hurt and frighten people, is unacceptable and appropriate action will be taken." Shafiq is also the latest university president to testify in front of the committee following a calamitous December 5, 2023 hearing during which the then Harvard University president Claudine Gay and the then University of Pennsylvania president Liz McGill failed to clarify their respective universities' policies regarding calls for genocide against Jewish people. Gay and McGill, in fact, since have resigned. The hearing, titled Columbia in Crisis, Columbia University's Response to Anti-Semitism, called into question the university's handling of on-campus Semitism amid an ongoing congressional investigation into Columbia's quote-unquote failure to protect Jewish students. Despite assurances coming in from the university's president, pro-Israel students and faculty have criticized the Columbia administration for not doing enough to make them feel safe and have called for Shafiq's resignation.
Immediately.
Pro-Palestinian protesters too have accused Columbia of stifling their freedom of expression. So what are the Columbia students protesting about? The pro-Palestinian students' protest effort, dubbed Gaza Solidarity Encampment, is collectively organized by student-led coalition Columbia University Apartheid Divest and Students for Justice in Palestine and Jewish Voice for Peace. These protesters are calling for Columbia to divest from corporations that profit from Israel's war on Gaza. In fact, the CUAD website lists additional demands calling for more financial transparency pertaining to Columbia's investments and the severing of academic ties and collaborations with Israeli universities and programs. The groups are also calling for complete ceasefire in Gaza. Meanwhile, President Biden has pledged that fighting anti-Semitism would continue to be his administration's topmost priority.